Hello there, I'm Azara Tagaya, your new host for Ringgit Sense. Now, over the next few episodes, we'll be exploring topics and sharing stories on personal finance, as well as find out how economic trends will affect you personally. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about online shopping trends. Now, according to the latest data, almost 1/3 of Malaysians shop online, and for the last 5 years, online retail sales recorded an average annual growth rate of almost 18%. At the same time, brick and mortar retail outlets achieved a significantly smaller growth of only about 3.2%. Now, leading the charge in online sales in Malaysia is Lazada. Of all the ASEAN countries it operates in, Malaysia has recorded the highest growth rate with triple-digit year-on-year revenue growth. We visited their Klang Valley warehouse to try to understand what Malaysians are buying online and how large their operations really are. At the Lazada warehouse. As you can see around me, there are so many things here, from diapers to pet food, from electronics to fashion items. And we want to know what are consumers buying online. And we're here to find out what happens behind the scenes. Okay, so tell us, how big is the warehouse actually?
So the warehouse is 240,000 square feet big. If you want to convert, it's about almost 3 football fields big.
Okay.
Yeah. On top of the warehouse we're in here today, we also have warehouses all over the country. So we have another 2 warehouses in Kuching and 1 more in Kota Kinabalu, so that we can serve the East Malaysian customers.
Okay, so Kevin, tell us what happens immediately after an order comes in. How is it processed?
So when an order comes in, firstly it falls into our verification process. So any time of the day, it falls into the system and we check for the payments, the address, and we verify the order. This takes usually very quickly, and then it falls into our warehouse system over here, where then it's assigned to a picker. We have an army of pickers around the whole warehouse, picking your orders from the rags, from the cages and everything.
Okay.
So I have a device over here. We use mobile devices in the warehouse. For example, I have an order here for this product. So I will come, I will scan it, and then I will take it. So the next step is packing the order. So this way.
Alright.
Usually we will put it on trolleys like this for the pickers, and then they bring the whole goods to the packing station.
Okay. So
example, this will be one of the packing stations.
Something like that.
Yep. So all these products will be packed by our packer over there, again through our warehouse system, and then it goes out for shipping.
Okay. Okay, so how fast does it take between getting an order and then shipping it out?
So it really depends on the type of order that we get, where the customer is, whether it's high-speed delivery or normal delivery. But an order can take anywhere from 10 minutes to 3 hours once it's fallen into our system for us to process and get it out. What we want to do is to make sure that the customer promise on the website is met. Our record, for example, is 7 minutes from order till ship out.
Okay.
For high-speed delivery, which we do, which is same day, if you order today, it's even faster, so that the customers get it on the same day in Klang Valley and guaranteed next day outside of Klang Valley. So over here, once the order has been packed, what happens is we sort it to the different partners for delivery that we have. We work with over 8 different partners. So if you look over the back over here, you can see the GDEX truck, the Post Laji truck. Delivery is so important. We've even built our own delivery fleet, Lazada Express, to do delivery all over the country today.
So what are some of the most popular items that people are buying from Lazada?
So, popular items. Well, in the olden days, 5 years ago, people would associate Lazada with electronic items, phones, mobiles, things like that. But in actual fact, today we have over 18 different categories, over 30 million items on the website.
I see.
So it might surprise you that some of our top sellers are actually items like diapers.
Okay.
Over the other corner, for lifestyle, we have Milo, Nescafe, Maggi noodles.
Okay.
We still sell the electronics, so we have thumb drives, we have power banks. In fact, I don't know, pick your choice. We sell almost everything there is to buy in the world.
Okay, so these are stuff that we can get at the shop. So why do people buy something like diapers from Lazada?
I mean, from Lazada, the price is always right, first of all. And if you're a mom, diapers, for example, can you imagine going to the store with 2 kids under your arms and trying to pick out the diaper? You shop on Lazada, use the phone, click and order, and then the diaper just goes to your house.
I see. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about returns. Say a customer from Kota Baru bought a shoe, but it may be the wrong size. So how does someone return something they bought?
So it's not an issue at all. When we started Lazada, we knew that we had to support returns in order to build trust and allow it to be easy for customers to shop online. So what we've done is actually very easy. You just go to the website, go to your account, or you can go to your mobile app, right? Fill in the online returns form. There you can tell us why you want to return the item. It's the wrong size, you change your mind, a myriad of different reasons. And then we've also partnered up with with a few returns partners across the country. So you can go to the nearest post office, you can go to an MBE outlet, you can go to a Collector outlet and ship it back to us. Just fill out the form, print the shipping label and then send it back. What we're also trying to do is make it even easier. So we're starting to now launch paperless returns, where all you have to do is just fill out the form and bring your mobile device. There it will have the e-form, and then just show it to one of our partners where available right now, and they'll just take the product from you and ship it back to us.
Okay, as you can see there, we had the opportunity to have a peek at the Lazada warehouse, and in our studio today is the CEO of Lazada in Malaysia himself, Hans-Peter Russell, to talk to us more about online shopping trends in Malaysia. Hi Hans, thank you so much for making time for us on Ringgit Sense. Okay, so looking back on Lazada itself, can you share with us how the shopping trends have actually changed from when you initially started? Who were your customers like and until now?
Okay, so yeah, thanks for having me today. I think we in the last 5 years saw a couple of changes and a couple of shifts that are very interesting. I think in the beginning we were like an electronics store and people were buying electronic gadgets. The customer base was a little bit younger, internet savvy, mostly male, 18 to 23 years old. I think today we are a lifestyle company. We have more than 40 million different products online, and majority of the customers are actually buying non-electronic items. They're buying health and beauty, they're buying fashion, they're buying toys, kids and babies items. And I think you see a strong shift to these lifestyle categories. We also see a demographic shift from within metropolitan areas, big cities, out to rural areas. So we see the strongest customer growth from areas like the East Coast or Sabah Sarawak. So I think people in these areas now are online, smartphones, have fast-speed internet, and they're really utilizing Lazada to have access to products that they don't really have access to in the smaller cities and villages. And then we also see an age shift where the 18 to 23-year-old, internet and tech-savvy people, our customer demographics now shifts to a more female-dominated, 30 to 35 years plus, families with kids that are buying the daily essentials for, having babies and kids at home.
Okay, now, as we saw in the VT, people are buying a lot of diapers, stuff like that online, and you said people are moving to the rural areas and more people from East Malaysia are buying. Why do you think is that? What kind of stuff are they buying, actually?
So I think it's the availability of products. If you try to go into a shopping mall in Terengganu or KK, then you might not find all the products from the brands that you have, let's say, in a shopping mall in the Klang Valley. So suddenly you have access to all the products nationwide. It doesn't get more convenient because try to have diapers, in 3 packages into your car, and it's just not very convenient. You need to carry it, and we send it to your house, to your doorstep. Then price obviously is also a big advantage. I think we at Lazada always try to give a lot of value, pass on some of the savings that we have to the customer so that everyone can benefit from it. And I think also when it comes to on top of the convenience, it's just a very fast and swift experience. I think we are able to ship an item to you within 1 or 2 days. We're able to ship an item to you on the same day. So it doesn't get more convenient. It becomes a habit. It becomes an experience. It's not just shopping and buying products anymore. Every day you see something new, and every day you get an item within 1 or 2 days to your doorstep.
True. Excellent. Okay, now let's speak a little bit about the regulations concerning online shopping. Now, there have been calls to have it be better regulated. So what are your views on this topic?
I think overall the Malaysian government is very active, and in the Southeast Asian region, probably one of the most engaged governments when it comes to e-commerce. I think you've seen the National E-commerce Strategic Roadmap, you've seen the Budget 2017, which is all skewed towards the internet and empowering SMEs, which really fits well into our own vision, and we really support all these initiatives and trying to help out wherever we can. I think when it comes to online transactions, it's all about trust. I think for the last 6 years we've been trying to create that trust that you can give, you will receive your items, there's nothing going to happen to your credit card details. And I think that is what we're trying to achieve. And I think the latest regulation just goes a bit more into consumer protection, consumer trust, and really making sure that you know where you're buying from, you know who you're buying it from, and what is the real price. And I think these are all initiatives to increase the overall trust in the industry, which we're very supportive of.
I see. Okay, now that's a really interesting topic about trust, about consumer trust, and having that overall trust in not just a particular website, but in online shopping in itself. But we will speak more about that in a moment. Right now, we're going to take a short break, and after this, we're going to find out if Lazada is ready to battle with American online giant Amazon in Southeast Asia. So stay tuned. Okay, back on Ringgit Sense. Now we're halfway through in our discussion with Hans-Peter Russell, the CEO of Lazada in Malaysia. Okay, Hans, so before the break, we were talking about online shopping trends and who your customers are. So now we want to find out about the company itself. Now, right now, Lazada is majority owned by Alibaba. So what kind of changes have Alibaba brought to the company?
I think, first of all, being part of Alibaba is something that we're very proud of and happy of. I think it not only validates e-commerce as an industry, but also validates Southeast Asia as the right spot to be active in e-commerce. And lastly, it also validates Lazada as the player in the region that basically is the only one that is really present in all Southeast Asian markets. I think the first almost 1.5 years being part of the Alibaba Group have been exciting. I think there's no other company that has so much knowledge and experience in how to scale up in that part of the region, in the West, not in the Western Hemisphere, but here in Asia, in Southeast Asia, a company to that size. I think we have learned a lot. A lot of experiences were shared with us. We get some insights into how to grow and scale the business further, how to build robust operations, how to use technology to empower sellers, how to use technology to give customers a better experience. And I think it's just been 1.5 years learning experience. It just feels like going back to college and really absorbing all that knowledge and experience that is out there. So we're very happy to be part of the group, and I think we're very excited for the next years to come.
Okay, any collaborations maybe with Chinese manufacturers, maybe through Taobao?
I think mostly we work together on, let's say, back-end related topics, on technology topic of back-end systems and tools and processes. I think obviously recently in Singapore, Malaysia, we also launched a small pilot project that is called Taobao Collection. I think that the whole idea was to, there's a big community of people that can actually read and speak Mandarin, and they can order on Taobao themselves, but there's a big population that cannot read and speak Mandarin, and I think there's a lot of demand for certain products, and so we have decided to really complement some of the assortment and add some of the Taobao products to the platform that we didn't have before. Now everyone that is not able to read Chinese can also order these products on our platform. Very small, selective products, a very curated assortment to just add on something to the customer base in Malaysia that wasn't there before.
Amazon has recently started its service in Singapore, and it could make its entry into Malaysia. So how is Lazada as a company actually preparing for competition from larger players, not just in Malaysia, but also in Southeast Asia?
I think we like to call it activity, and we like to have activity in this region. Again, it validates the region, it validates the business model, and it validates the decision we made 6 years ago when we decided to, open Lazada here in Southeast Asia. So we like and appreciate activity because it keeps us at our toes. We need to constantly innovate, we need to constantly be better and be ahead of the curve. And I think increased activity helps us to do that.
Why do you think people find it so hard to trust online shopping? Especially, I read in one of the articles that you were also featured in that 80% of people actually still prefer physical stores. They prefer to have something more tangible. Why do you think that is?
I think...
especially, how are you going to overcome that?
I think over time, and by focusing and making it part of our strategy to really focus on customer experience and building that trust, that behavior will change. I think 20 years ago, no one booked hotels or flight tickets through online pages. Today, probably everyone, or almost everyone, is doing that because people got familiar with the technology, with the process, and started trusting it. And I think the same will happen to online shopping as well. There's a huge crowd of young people, very internet savvy, spending hours and hours on social media and their mobile phone every day. They're completely already used to, transact and interact online. Yeah. And I think these people, once they become, the middle class, once they have their own families, it will be a digital society. And I think over time, that will just continue. In the short term, to create that trust, we're working on things like cash on delivery. So you don't have to give us your credit card, but you only pay once you receive your item. We're working with partners like 7-Eleven, where you can, I think in 2,000 stores nationwide, can pay your product there, and then only then you receive it at home. I think we're working on a couple of initiatives that just create that trust, reduce that barrier for your first e-commerce experience. And once you had your first e-commerce experience, usually people feel more confident, they try out maybe their credit card, they see it works, and they stick with it.
And they're good to go. Okay, now speaking about initiatives and what's in for the future of Lazada, we'll get back to you on that. Now it's time for another break, and we'll see you after the breather. Welcome back. We're still with the CEO of Lazada Malaysia, Hans-Peter Russell. Okay, so before the break, we talked about online shopping trends, your customers, and now we want to see how you're actually going to change the online shopping scene in Malaysia. So Lazada has been seen as a disruptor to the online shopping trend, and there has been complaints that people have been going to shops, trying on, clothes and stuff like that, but actually going home and then buying the same stuff on Lazada. So what do you have to say about this?
I think the real innovation and the next step is to really combine that online and offline experience. I think we have started working with the brands. We've started working with all the retailers like Tesco, Senheng, Watsons, Caring Pharmacy, etc., to really create an integrated experience between online and offline. And I think this is the next step to really give customers or give the brands a way to engage with their customers wherever they are. So when I'm a brand and I have a customer that sits in the MRT and is browsing on Facebook, I want to engage with the customer there. And if this customer is in the shopping mall, I want to engage with the customer there. And these two need to be very integrated topics. So I think one of the things, for example, we have been doing is with L'Oreal and Maybelline, where you are in an offline store, you see the offline ad. Through some beacon technology, we can retarget some ads to you on your mobile phone later, and then you have your purchase, and then we can re-engage with you and bring you back to the shop, bring you back to the online store. We're having a pilot with JBL, where you can sit as a customer in a cafeteria, you can try on the products of JBL, you can have a coffee, and if you like it, there are pads there where you can order them and online, and they get delivered to your doorstep. I think these are things we're trying to roll out, very integrated omni-channel, multi-channel experiences. Brands and retailers are very excited about this, and I think these are some of the things that will probably define this year, next year.
Okay, so speaking about that, we have when you first started out, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, there were other websites, not too many, just a few, but most of them were like selling coupons and stuff like that, electronic stuff. And then after Lazada entered the market, now there are more websites, and not just that, even standalone brands are coming up with their own apps and stuff like that, easier ways to shop. Are you going to work together with these brands as well?
100%. I think the brand relationships we have with the likes of L'Oreal and Samsung, etc., I think are absolutely key for what Lazada is today. I think it creates that trust, it creates that credibility in the market, and it reduces the barriers for customers, you know, to have their first e-commerce experience with us, because they trust the brands and they know they will get genuine products. And I think it's going to be the key going forward. Lazada, or online in general, is a main pillar for some of these brands, or most of these brands. And I think Lazada is part of their online strategy. And you would be surprised how closely we work together with certain brands. We've just launched with one FMCG company a big MOU in the headquarters, where we commit to a very high number of revenues, but also build together a data science platform, a data science team. We work together on certain operational fulfillment capabilities to really ensure that offline brand equity is being transferred to an online experience as well. Okay. So I think it really becomes closer and closer, and a very good collaboration.
What about local merchants? Are you working together, or any plans for the future to especially help people, your local merchants?
I think we have tens of thousands of local merchants and SMEs online, and I think we really reduce the barrier to sign up in our platform and start selling. I think today it takes you 10 to 12 minutes to sign up at Lazada and start selling your products. Also, as part of the digital free trade zone that was announced by the government in collaboration with Alibaba earlier, we're working on a local, regional fulfillment hub, where we will empower local businesses to also conduct their business in entire Southeast Asia. So I think there are a couple of exciting things that we will announce soon, and that will really help to grow the local SME base and let local businesses become a regional or even global player. Okay, so
we're running short of time here, but looking back on your whole time with Lazada, what would you think would be one of your biggest or proudest achievements with Lazada Malaysia?
I think the day where we processed our 1 millionth order a couple of years ago, and we realized that we're onto something. And the day where we had our first $1 million month, where we then celebrated and realized this is really a big business, and we probably made the right decision to come into that market. These were some very memorable moments that I'm very proud of.
Awesome, and hopefully many more millions to come. Okay, thank you so much, Hans-Peter, for sharing with us about Lazada, and we wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for this week on Ringgit Sense. Now, if you'd like to see the extended version of our visit to the Lazada warehouse, you can go to our Facebook page, Ringgit Sense TV3. Okay, so next week, we'll be talking to the Land Public Transport Commission, SPAD, about the new e-hailing laws. Now, these days, more and more people are taking up becoming an e-hailing driver as a second job. So how will the new regulations imposed by SPAD affect them? We find out that and more on Ringgit Sense next week. I'm Azara Tagaya. Thanks for watching.